getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on, so Nuroff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Verani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is... Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
On to the back end of Phil Jocelyn, so there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot have fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching the Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
standing out from the crowd is a challenge. You have the passion, courage, and ambition to do something extraordinary. You have an awesome story to tell and a wonderful vision to share with the world. At Eddie Videos, we take that vision and turn it into reality so you can be heard above the rest. You need something different, and we give you the ultimate advantage. We can help you transform your ideas, images, and clips into a professional video that brings your message to life and sets a new bar for excellence. Visuals, voiceovers, editing, animations, whatever you need, we've got it all. If you're a new business looking to make your mark or an experienced company searching for something new and amazing, we're here to help. Trust us to take your video to amazing levels of awesomeness.
Is of my mic, Mark, and it's not working. 2 seconds. Good evening and welcome to round 7 of the JPB Clio Cup, live from Twin Ring, Motegi East. I am James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth by Mark Fletcher very, very shortly. Once more here as we are into round 7. The drop weeks have been applied to the standings, and first now in the championship standings after the drop weeks is Pete Newman on 792 points, Carl Ridley on 761, Sam Van Olst on 740 with Dan Mould on 712. Then we've got Sam Smith on 675, Carl Jacklett on 655, and Carl Hardy 653 with Lee Deemer there on 646. And we've got Roger Morton on 642, Alan McCain on 630. Then we've got Jono Johnson, Stephen Burns, Parker Steele, Martin Sampson, John Bailiff, Duncan Murray, Wayne Palmer, Craig Jones there, and then at the bottom we've got Pete Van Gaal and Morgan Butler. Then in the AM Championship we have got Derek Crowther out on top on 842 with Danny Kazar on 793, Mark Chappell on 696, Charles Kellerman on 686 with Stuart Gibbons on 678, Rob Williams on 660, Andy Littler on 656, Daniel Lewis on 651 with Edward Parfitt on 631. And we've got Chris Dixon, Sir Alan Toon, Ollie Ricks, Paul Godden, David Ayres, Mick Barry, John Higgins Sr., Jason Haddington and Steve Hansford. Now, in the team championships, iRace Esports is out on top with 1,144 with Team SRL 1,084. Team Goldwing 1,076 with JPB on 1,030. Win It or Bin It are in 5th with Optical Red 6th, Pure Sim 7th, Simstickers Sim Life 8th, Optical Green 9th, Results Clave in 10th, Safeguard Bar Result 11th, Send It or Bend It is in 12th, and Momo is in 13th. Then in the AMs, it's Blade Designs on 1,144 with DHD on 1,110. Work Guard by result 897. Spiral by result 697. Triple P on 495. Oven Blossom Racing on 474. Higgins Motorsport 189 with Smart Racing on 161. Right, you've heard me waffle on more than enough this evening. Let's bring Mark into the booth. We've got about 5 minutes left of practice. Good evening, Mark. How are you?
Good evening. Yeah, very well. Looking forward to this round. This is a cracking little circuit, and yeah, luckily for us this evening, there isn't actually any corner names at all. So you lot are going to think we're being lazy, but yeah, we go from turn 1 to turn 11. Nice and straightforward for us then. We ain't got to worry too much. Well, I hope so. I bet we're still going to get it wrong a couple of times, but yeah, it should be a decent evening. We're having a look now at our series sponsor, Paul Godden from Simstickers and Sim Life. Does a lot of decals and everything like that for all your sim stuff. I've got one on my wheel as well, so yeah, fantastic products. I've got mouse mats, I've got mugs, everything. So yeah, head over to go and see Paul Godden and the boys at Simstickers and Sim Life.
Yeah, definitely go and check them out as well. Welcome in Callum Milam, Phil, as always. And Toxic Munchkin, which is, of course, Jamie Dangle. Good evening to you, sir. And Tony and Ridley. I feel for you this morning, Carl. It's freezing this morning. I'm lucky. I think I'm supposed to be tucked up in bed with the electric blanket on. Good luck. So I'm guessing that might be Carl Ridley's partner, wife, I would have thought. Unless, of course, it's his sister and I've just got it horribly wrong.
Yeah, there's that could be anybody, but I'm going to assume it's Ridley, so there's a relation of some kind. And yeah, it's definitely tucked in bed, because if you guys are new here, first time watching, Kyle Ridley gets up at about 3:30 every morning, well, not every morning, on a Monday to yeah, come and join us for Clios, which is a stellar effort.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not going to lie. He's braver than I am. I don't even get in the rig now, let alone get up at 3 in the morning to go and drive. I'm not going to lie. So I've still not done any driving. I know I had plans to, and I still haven't done any either, which, you know, it is what it is, unfortunately. A busy boy here. Jamie Christensen, it's not that cold right now for me. I don't know about Carl. It's a bit later for him. It's a bit early for him, Jamie. It's like 3 or something in the morning, I believe, if Tony Ann can confirm that. He hasn't slept, I don't think. Wow.
Imagine how fast it would be if he did.
I know. We'll be in trouble there as well. So, but yeah, we got Jono Johnson from Team SRL there, Toxic Munchkin, of course, Jamie Dangle. We've got 27 cars currently on track here as well, all battling it out on this classic short track circuit. We haven't gone to the full circuit. We're on the East circuit, which is still a minute 33 lap time here, Mark. We were discussing in the green room before whether or not it should have gone for a different layout because it was a little bit shorter, but I think this one should provide some great racing.
Yeah, definitely. We've just watched those two cars in front go side by side into what we'll call turn one. Downhill braking zone, going to be really difficult to get these Clios stopped. The rear end's going to go light. If you're on the inside there, turn two, another right-hander, so you're going to assume that the move's done. But then we go through the S's, which is 3, 4 and 5. And again, they've got a long drag down, which we're headed down into now. This is turn 6. We head under the bridge after turn 6, and this will lead us into turn 7. This is going to be flat out right-hander is turn 7. And then we head into the second chicane, which is 8, 9, and then 10, just a little bit further on. Yeah. 10's a fairly big braking zone, to be honest. You want to be on the inside. You can see these Duncan Bray, the Goldwing Motorsport boys, trying it too wide. Let's see what lines they can use. And yeah, once we get round turn number 10, little short shoot up into a hairpin right-hander. You'll see the pit entry on the right-hand side. And yeah, anchors on, get it stopped, and then get back on the power, because that is a big straight coming up.
Yeah, we've got that long straight down into turn 1. Jamie said it's 2:58 a.m. for me, and he's an hour and a half ahead of me, so it's 3:30 in the morning for Kyle Ridley, which just seems completely insane. But fair play to him for joining us and coming along and getting involved with the Clios as well. If you do want to get yourselves involved, there is a link to the Discord down below, guys, as well. Sign-ups will be opening up for next season once we've decided on the calendars. Don't forget, we've got the GT4s on Wednesday, and then on August the 4th, we are starting a TCR 6-round league on the British racetracks within iRacing. So it'll be 6 rounds of British circuits. So if you want to go and get yourselves involved in some TCR action as well, you can. Join the Discord, JPB Leagues Discord, down in the description below, and come and do some epic racing with pretty much, it's going to probably be nearly 40 cars on the grid for the TCR. So that's going to be a little bit busy, I think, Mark, would be the terminology there.
Yeah, they're like the big brothers to these Clios, aren't they? The TCRs, fantastic racing. Normally, mostly front-wheel drive, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, brilliant racing as always. So yeah, new face to the championship. Adam Dalmont, obviously having a bit of a tester for the rest of this season. Obviously going to enter season number 3. So yeah, seeing what the competition's like, feeling his way around. But yeah, new name on the timing sheet here.
Yeah, he has. He's joined this week. He's done some practice as well. And but he's coming along for the rest of the season. So he did come and join us this week, of course, here as well. But he's still got the likes of Sam Van Ols, Pete Newman and Sam Smith, Jono Johnson. You know, all the old fast guard are still involved as well, Mark. And I think at the end of the day, you know, the championship standings are reflecting the fact that Pete Newman is winning the pros. Derek Crowther's winning the AMs. Of course, Derek will be promoted up into pros for next season, due to the fact that that's how it works. Especially if you win the championship, you get yourself promoted, just purely because, you know, Derek's naturally quick anyway, and we've seen him up on the podium and things like that. So yeah, so he'll be, if he does win it from Danny Kazari, he will be promoted up into the pros here as well. But we've got some great other leagues in the planning as well. There's talks of a GT3, there's talks of an endurance series, there's loads of things been suggested to us that we could probably run leagues every single night, to be honest. I'm not going to lie with the amount of league suggestions that we've had as well. So yeah, and we're also looking at a one-off annual 6-monthly special featuring the top drivers from the leagues facing a series of random races and challenges. Now, that was suggested by our very own Arthur Ferdal, who said, that, Mark, that we should get the champions together from each of the leagues and run them over 3 races or 4 races, depending on where we're pulling them from as well on cars, so Clios, GT4s, GT3s and so on and so forth, and CCRs, and getting them all together, and whoever wins comes out on top after the whole of the rounds is crowned the overall champion, as Mini-Me has just taken a very wide line off the circuit there.
Ooh, like a champion of champions.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that idea, and yeah, I'd spice that up even more, and I wouldn't release the combos until the days of the events.
Ooh.
But yeah, that's a fantastic idea. But yeah, guys, if you're watching qualifying, 3 colours you need to be looking out for in that bottom corner. You're going to see purple. Purple means that they are the fastest of anybody through that sector. As you can see here, we have 5 sectors, 4 sectors, maybe?
5.
Yeah, 5. There you go then. So we're looking at purple, fastest through that sector. Derek Crowther, obviously, we can see there, is fastest through that sector. Then you're looking at greens. Green is better than their personal best. So if they're improving their time, as we can see, Adam Delmont is definitely improving his time. And then we've got yellow, which is, yep, not improving, but just going round. So yeah, fantastic. And it is Delmont at the front who sets his first flying lap.
Yeah, I'm sure Pete Newman's going to have a go with that one. John Bailiff goes into second, Jono Johnson into third, Carl Jacklett, Alan McCain jumped up as well into fifth. Crowther's sitting in 5th place at the moment. Stuart Gibbons is going to get a lap on the board, so is Paul Godden here as well. So it's getting very, very interesting as all the times start rumbling through on that timing tower on the left-hand side. We will give it a minute or so just to settle down, because otherwise we're going to be forever repeating the same thing, that so-and-so's gone pole. We'll keep an eye on Pete Newman currently. He's on his way round turn 6 here, leading the championship after the drop weeks as well. Is he going to come back and defend his title, do you think?
I mean, it's a tall order, that's for sure. A man who we can't write off, though, is Carl Ridley, obviously sitting in 2nd place. Been fairly lucky a couple of times. Does seem to struggle a little bit in the reverse grids compared to the wily fox of Pete Newman. But yeah, it's going to be fantastic. If he can go back-to-back, what an achievement that is for the Pure Sims driver. Was with Morgan Butler at the start of the season, but yeah, circumstances changed, and Pete is now the Lone Ranger for Pure Sims Esports here in yeah, season 2.
Yeah, he definitely is. The interesting thing about Carl Ridley is he's had 12 top 5s here, 12 top 5s, and whereas obviously with Pete Newman currently as well, Pete has had 13 top 5s. So yeah, he's they've been doing a stellar job between the two of them. I think that's the thing between Carl Ridley and Pete Newman. They've been at each other throughout the whole of the championship. They've been battling away nicely as well. You know, it's always been exciting with them two. And throwing the likes of John Bailiff and obviously Derek Crowther's been involved a couple of times in the reverse. It's been an interesting season so far, hasn't it? Considering, you know, we've only got 3 rounds left, which is the Knockhill Reverse next week, which is going to be exciting. Watkins Glen Classic, which means from the outer loop they just do a 90-degree long right-hander and back they go. And then Brands Hatch Indy, which is, of course, was selected by the champion from last season, which was Pete Newman. So they've got 3 interesting rounds to go as well, which gives them 9 races to try and rack some decent points up and cement their places in the championships.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, that makes that stat of top 5s even more impressive, because if you remember rightly, we do actually have a 20-place reverse grid for race number 3, so there's a potential that you people like your Ridleys, your Newmans, they have made up, you know, 19 odd places to get to the front of race number 3, or, you know, sort of 16, 17 to even get into the top 5. So that's an outstanding job, to be fair. Newman going fastest in the 2nd and 3rd sector. What's he going to do? He did look like he had a bit of an issue there behind the 167 car. I don't know who that is.
That's Crowther, I think it is. Yeah, Newman still, he's just gone into 4th on a 134.060. Do you know what, though? I would sit here and normally you would have a panic about that for the championship leader. You know, oh, he's in 4th, Carl Ridley's not far behind him in 7th, and all the other hurrah that goes with it. But I don't think that's going to be an issue for Pete. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm still fairly confident in Pete's ability that he won't have any issues tonight as well. He's just a naturally quick driver. He's like an Iceman coming through in the reverse. He picks his way through. He makes his move count. He doesn't do anything crazy. He doesn't jeopardize his racing. You know, so I think for him, he'll still be okay regardless of where he qualifies. I think that's the thing with Newman as well. He will always be okay because he is such a top quality driver.
Yeah, exactly. I think he just got a little bit caught out there by how fast he caught Derek Crowther there. But yeah, new man of the season, Adam Delmont leading the way at the minute, just over a 10th of a second in front of the Golding Motorsport driver. And then we've got Team SRL sitting in 3rd of Jono Johnson. So yeah, these guys, obviously we haven't seen Duncan up there that often, so this is a fantastic qualifying session for that man, that's for sure. And what's Newman doing? No, this is an outlap for him. It's not technically, but maybe whether he's been putting the old tyres, giving him a little bit of a rest. So yeah, we'll see what happens as Delmont goes faster again, a 1:33.7.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying at the moment, the new man this week. Carl Ridley is down in 7th, Sam Van Olst there. Then we've got the start of the AMS, and at the moment Danny Kazar is leading the way over Derek Crowther. So of course Kazar currently at the moment is sitting a good 48 points, I believe, back from Derek Crowther at the moment. Of course, he's had a bit of an up and down season as Danny Kazar. He's always been relatively around the top there as well, Mark, but he's leading the AMS here this evening, which is a great job from him. It's something he needs to do to be able to put himself in that championship fight.
Yeah, exactly. And we look, you know, at that championship that we saw at the start, anything from you know, P2 down to sort of Daniel Lewis, who's in P8, it's still all to play for in this AM championship. So yeah, these guys have got to be now definitely thinking about the championship, playing it safe, and yeah, just going from there. Newman still not improving. We could be seeing Newman outside of the top 5 for the first time this season. Obviously, he's just heading out of turn 10, heading up to the final corner. I wonder what kind of lap time he's on at the minute. We've got Derek Crowther in front of him as well. So Newman better in the 1st sector, slower in the 2nd, but fastest overall in the 3rd, and that's Crowther out of the way. So I think this is going to be the last lap for Newman. What have we got?
Pole.
Newman goes pole. Of course he does. Mr. Newman, why would you leave it 10 seconds before the end of the session? There we go. Pete Newman, Pure Sims Esports, puts himself on pole for round number 7, race number 1 of the Clio Championship.
Yeah, he definitely has done that as well. They told you there was no counting him out. It was always going to be possible for Pete. But here is the grid. Pete Newman is in 1st. Adam Delmont 2nd. Duncan Murray in 3rd. Jono Johnson 4th. Carl Ridley 5th. John Bailiff 6th. Alan McCain 7th. Carl Jacklett 8th. And Sam Van Olst is in 9th. Then we've got Danny Kazar from DHD in 10th. Stuart Gibbons Blade Designs and Derek Crowther Blades in 11th and 12th. Chris Barnes, Wayne Palmer, Paul Godden, Lee Deemer, Ollie Ricks and Mark Chappell round out the top 18. Then on from that, we've got Rob Williams, Edward Parfitt, Mick Barry, Charles Kellerman, Chris Dixon, Sir Alan Toon, Sam Smith down in 25th. Dan Lewis and Andy Littler. Well, that's going to be tough for Mr. Smith, isn't it? Considering he's down in 25th place.
Yeah, we were down in the pits earlier as the cars were going round, and Sam Smith was still in his garage eating a Chinese with about 20 minutes to go. So, yeah, obviously still a little bit full. Maybe he got a little bit sick as he was driving around in qualifying. But, yeah, rough one for him, P25.
Yeah, all that extra weight he's carrying, you see. All that extra weight he's got from the Chinese has affected his pace here as well. Yeah, we don't have any Dan Mould this evening. I haven't heard from Dan, so he's not here either as well. Darryl Wright, that would teach you to doubt Pete. Well, never really doubted Pete, Darryl, but purely because of his ability here as well. So it was never a doubt, but you can see the 27 brightly liveried cars on the grid at this moment in time here as well. Well, let's get this up and running. We're just waiting for Mark Chappell to see what he's been up to. Unfortunately, Mini-Me in the background with our pigeon internet doing the best that he can, unfortunately, here as well. But let's go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we are underway, and it is Pete Newman got away off the line with Adam Dalmont, Jono Johnson right behind him here as well. Currently at the moment, Duncan Murray has moved up into second place. Is Murray going to be able to hold this line? And is he going to be able to take down into the right-hander of turn 1 as well? But it is Newman out in front. Murray's gone off. There's a little bit of a spinner as well. I think that might have been John Bailiff running sideways. Then we've got complete and utter chaos going on here as well. And we're going to wait for that one to settle down. But there is about 7 or 8 cars involved in that. And unfortunately there, Mark, I would say everyone got away cleanly, but clearly they didn't.
Yeah, the pinch point between turns 1 and 2. I think there were some cars out on the grass after turn 1. Obviously, we saw Duncan Murray go extremely wide off into the gravel trap. And yeah, I wonder if that scared a couple of people. But yeah, a slight breakaway here. Then top 3, Jono Johnson at the back of this third. You see that team SRL car. He's been there all season. New boy on the block. Adam Delmont sitting in second from guessing Next Gen Racing. And Mr. Newman starting his business how he wants to carry on, slowly breaking away half a second.
Yeah, so Zanvanos goes on the inside. There's a contact between Carl Jacklett and the winners and Binnett. And then unfortunately for Zanvanos, he just got caught up in it. And then everybody else got caught up at the same time there as well, as people are trying to weave their way through the chaos that happened. And Zanvanos as well, Carl Ridley, Stuart Gibbons, Paul Godden, Duncan Murray, Chris Dixon all got involved. There was an incident with Mick Barry, Andy Littler, Rob Williams as well. God blimey, the count is endless here as well. So there was quite a lot of cars involved in that one. Newman's broken away. Danny Kazar is leading the AMs here as well, Mark, and is doing an absolutely stellar job. He's sitting 5th overall currently here as well. So a great job from Danny Kazar, but that beginning was just a little bit chaotic.
Yeah, and I tell you who must have had his eyes closed, Mr. Chinese himself, Sam Smith, up 16 places on lap number 1, up to 9th from P25. I've got no idea how he made that through, but I can't imagine it was that easy. But yeah, fantastic battle here. I know we've had a front sort of 3 breakaway, but that's going up the inside of Danny Kazar. Danny's going to leave that door open. And that's yeah, John Bailiff for team Win It and Bin It. That's going to be a pass done and dusted. He's going to try and want to get onto the back of Alan McCain in front of him. And then, yeah, a slight breakaway with Derek Crowther is, yeah, running second in AM at the minute behind his championship contender, we'll call him, Danny Kazar.
Chris Barnes made it through. Sam Smith did make it through. He's up 16 places there as well. Mark Chappell's battling away with Lee Deemer further down the order. Then we got Sam Van Ols, Chris Dixon, Carl Jacklett, Stuart Gibbons, Alan Toon and Dan Lewis there. Mini-Me's up 8 places, but I got a funny feeling Mini-Me may have been involved in the incident with Rob Williams here as well, or was this Rob's own teammate? No, it was Mini-Me. I've got a funny feeling. Oh no, there was contact with Deemer, and then No, he didn't touch him. So Lee Deemer and Williams. Oh! And then the Team Goldwing straight into the side. One of the interesting things as well that's just popped up is what has this man been up to here? Carl Ridley looks like he's steering. He's absolutely shot there, Mark, doesn't it? It looked like he got caught up in that incident with Sam Van Olst at the beginning, and he doesn't even go down, manage to get down the pit lane there as well. It looks like he had a complete shot steering.
Yeah, that's not ideal. That car was definitely crabbing when he was coming into the pit lane, but yeah, not the ideal first race here for Kyle, which is a shame. To be fair, yeah, caught up in that lap 1 incident, we'll call it. But yeah, this is a fantastic battle that we're watching now. Derek Crowther, Danny Kazar, and not far behind them, the ever-charging Sam Smith, now up 17 places. The pro driver going to get through these 2 AMs, hopefully nice and cleanly, for iRace Esports here, sat now behind the Blade Designs car of Derek Crowther. See how closely these Clios can race. Sam will be looking through the back of Derek Crowther's car here, so I'm going to assume that we're going to set up a move here, or we're going to go, we'll head up the inside into turn number 11.
Yeah, he's definitely going to try and set him up if he can. There's a win it or bin it out. If John Bailiff went a little bit wide there, as we're now going to be trying to get hold of Danny Kazar and Derek Crowther here. And Crowther is going to try and have a go at Kazar. He's not going to make it through. And now he's got that long run here as well. This is what Sam Smith is currently seeing here. And that is it. That's all he is seeing of this car in front of him. Is the Derek Crowther Blade Designs. Crowther's now, is he going to be looking at going out to the right hand side? Is Smith? Smith's got Chris Barnes behind him here. Don't forget this Pro and Am. There's somebody sitting in the side of the road there. Unfortunately, who was that's just adventured off track? I think that may have been Mr. Williams again, unfortunately, having a little bit of an off track here as well. So it's all been going off. Stuart Gibbons has just snuck up the inside of Charles Kellerman, and then Paul Godden is trying to have a go at Carl Ridley. And Ridley, I think, is just overtaking him here for 20th overall. The battle back up front now, down to 3 temps currently at the moment, with Pete Newman and Adam Dalmont breaking away from Jono Johnson. I don't think Johnson's got a reply here for him, Mark. These 2 up front have opened up about a 1.2 second gap.
Yeah, Dalmont last time by took 0.3 of a second out of Newman. The rear of Dalmont's car looks to be sliding around a lot, so whether he's wound that brake bias all the way back to try and get the rotation. But yeah, Newman cool as a cucumber at the minute. Gap at 0.2 of a second. It's way too far for Dalmont to be diving at the inside, but yeah, I'm going to assume a lock up there from the Pure Sims car. This could be dangerous. Dalmont going to want to get the drive out of the corner, heading out of turn number 11 as they come across the line to take the next lap here as they head down the hill past the start and finish straight. We'll look at the boards on the right hand side. I'm going to guess we'll break around the 100-meter mark. Watch the brake lights come on that Pure Sims car. Dalmont slightly later. Small lock up there from Newman. I think that's just a trait of these Clios. And as we go on board, this is going to get very, very tight indeed. Jono Johnson is in the background, 1.6 seconds behind these 2. He's going to want these 2 to start fighting, because that's going to bring him back in contention. We've seen it so many times before, but Dalmont on the back of Pete Newman. Is he going to dive to the inside? No, he's not. He's going to sit there nice and neatly, not try anything stupid. He's going to make the pass clean. But yeah, that Pure Sims car is getting very hot there with the next gen car right up behind it.
Yeah, it definitely is as well. And it looks like Derek Crowther's at a bit of a set 2 here as well. And unfortunately for Derek Crowther, he has dropped himself down the order. Big lock up from Crowther. Here comes Chris Barnes. Nowhere for Barnesy to go. Unfortunately, goes straight in to the side. Mark Chappell's been off track as well. Stuart Gibbons is still battling that out here, trying to get past Chappell, who obviously just taken that little bit of a diver off here. Dalmont's gap's now down again to about 1.5 temps, 2.5 temps currently at the moment, as they're coming round turn 11 once more for this run down this long old start-finish straight, Mark, isn't it? It's a mile long. It's massive.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder now if Dalmont's just playing the pressure game, as I like to call it. He's going to sit on the back of Pete Newman. Obviously not in the championship as Adam Dalmont. obviously just scoping out next season. But yeah, he's going to wait for Newman to make a mistake. If he makes a mistake, as I say that, look at that. That's going to be Newman across the front of the next gen car, and these two are literally joined together. A tenth of a second is the gap. Delmont right on the back of Pete Newman. He has no idea where the circuit's going. He's literally just watching the back of that Pure Sims car and hoping that Pete is on the apex. So we're going to see a move here. No, again, Delmont backs out of it, just almost pushing Pete Newman into the braking zones. Fantastic driving to be able to sit so close up behind somebody. And yeah, I'll tell you for free, he's looking through that back window.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's trying to get past here. He just can't see anything, and apart from that, that is literally all he is seeing is that Pure Sims and Newman as these guys on that run down from turn 9 into 10. Is Delmont going to look at diving up the inside? He's not. He's going to be on the brakes one more round. Turn 10 they go, and then the short sharp sprint up to 11th here. We're closer than we ever been at this moment in time. We are close. Is he going to go on the brakes once more and try the inside into 11? He's not. He's going to wait for that run. Another lock up from Newman there as well. Another big puff of smoke. As we said, we've seen it more often than not here with these Clios, and it's a constant thing that we do see here as well. But Delmont's looking at, he's going to get closer and closer and closer. He's trying to pick out his braking marker. He pulls out to see where he's going. On the brakes he goes and downs into turn 2. Mini-Me is under pressure currently at the moment as well. He is well under pressure from Carl Jacklett, Stan Van Olsten, Chris Barnes. Mini-Me sitting in pole for race 2. But what is he going to be able to do here with Carl Jacklett tucked up right behind him? Jacklett pulls out. Mini-Me goes on the defensive here as well. He goes to the left. Jacklett goes to the right. He doesn't move again. Jacklett's going to run around the inside of turn 2. Is he going to try that cut back here as well? They're going to be side by side under the bridge, and Carl Jacklett does go through in the end, demoting Mini-Me down into 11th place currently at the moment.
Yeah, that was a decent move from Jacklett, and yeah, to be fair, Mini-P defended well, saw what Jacklett was doing, then moved once. Important not to go back and try and swerve all over the road. So yeah, great little racecraft that. I've got a lot of time for that, but yeah, obviously we know Jacklett extremely good at defending. Obviously showed there, setting up that move halfway down the straight, forcing Edward to the inside of the corner. So yeah, hopefully he pushed wide. Exactly what he did, Jacklett at the inside.
Yeah, definitely did there as well. So great little battle going on there. And now Mini-P has got Sam Van Olst behind him for company here as well. So can he hold on to this 11th place at the moment? He is up 9 places from where he started as well. So great little drive going on here for my boy Ollie Ricks and Wayne Palmer with Sam Smith here as well. Palmer's just about to slip up the inside of turn 11. He's forcing Ricks wide. Wicks has got nowhere to go. And now, unfortunately for Palmer, he's got Smith coming on. Smith's onto the grass here, and he's being squeezed along the line currently at the moment. But is he going to make it past Palmer? Palmer's on the left-hand side. Smith's on the right for the I-Race, and I think Smith's going to get him, and that puts Sam Smith up 17 places with Ollie Ricks up 10 places there as well. So Sam Van Olst has just overtaken Mini-P, and he's gone down into 12th at the moment. But again, Pro-Ams, they're really not a surprise there on that one here as well. So at the end of the day, great little battles going on all the way throughout the field. Lee Deemer's still battling away down in 24th place there as well. But out of Delmont, Pete Newman still going at each other here, Mark. Nose to tail again as we head down into turn 9.
Yeah, Pete Newman soaking up the pressure here. But yeah, fantastic driving from the new man, Adam Delmont. Great to see people that coming into the championship can really muscle with the top boys. Obviously, we know how good Pete Newman is in, to be fair, anything that he drives, but fantastic in these Clios. Yeah, 0.3 of a second. Slightly dropping Jono Johnson. Jono just doesn't seem to have the pace of these two. As yet again, we see a rear lock into that Clio, and Pete's wide. What's Delmont going to do here? Is he going to try and go for the move? Is Pete going to move over, or is he going to assume that Delmont is just going to sit there? I would be very surprised if he doesn't, and we see that next gen car pop out of the side. Is he going to be on the inside? What's Newman going to do? He's going to slightly back out Adam Delmont to the lead of the race.
Yeah, but Pete Newman's going to be looking at trying to come up the inside of turn 2 here. He slips in behind that next gen car and slips in right behind him, and then goes once more. I don't think this is going to be the end of this battle. I think they are going to continue all the way through for the next 7 minutes here. Pete Newman soaked up the pressure for 13 of them minutes, and then Delmont got through here as well. But further down the field, Mini-Me, and it's just re-overtaken Sam Van Olst. Derek Crowther's now snuck through up on the inside as well. So Mini P is down in 13th with Crowther in front of him here as well, and he's sitting in 4th place in the AMS with Stuart Gibbons right behind him currently at the moment as well. So Gibbo is closing in there at the bottom of your screen, but Edward Parfitt is having a go at Derek Crowther and Sam Van Olst as well. So great little scrap going down in this midfield. Pete Newman's got back through here as well. He's just retaken the lead. Delmont's going to slip up the inside of 9. Newman's going to look for the run out of turn 9. Is he going to be able to get out the inside for turn the 11? Sorry, that was into turn 10. This is turn 11 now. Newman slips up the inside here, and he's forcing Adam Delmont out wide. Delmont's going to try that cutback though, Mark, and get that run down the start finish straight.
Yeah, Newman's going to be up against that pit wall quick there, but yeah, Delmont already there. And look who is in the back. Jono Johnson needed this battle to start happening. Delmont still on the inside of Newman at his rear quarter, backs out of it this time to allow Pete Newman to take the apex, because he's seen right behind him the green and black liveried team SRL of Jono Johnson having a fantastic series this time round. But yeah, these two attached to the attached to Clios. Are we about to see a three-way battle with 5 minutes left to go in race number 1 of round number 7?
Yeah, this is going to get interesting now. Jono Johnson, as you say, needed these two to fight. He needed to close that gap. They needed to slow each other down, and they have done that now. And Jono Johnson is within touching distance. He can see them. It breeds you to go quicker. We don't know why it breeds you to go quicker, but it does. It makes you hungry. It makes you that lion, and Jono Johnson has got a heart of a lion and will get himself involved in this if the opportunity arises. He's not going to turn around and go, okay, I'm in third, go for it. No, no, no. The man from SRL will say he will get involved and he will try and put Adam Delmont under pressure. And from Delmont's side of things, being in that middle, Mark, kind of restricts him from attacking Newman, because he can see Jono Johnson closing. He can see Newman trying to open up a gap out front. And now Delmont's got to decide, right, what do I do? Do I either go on the attack? Do I go on the defense? What's the strategy in the middle here? Because obviously he's going to be under pressure from behind. He's going to want to try and get through at the front, and at the moment he's not really doing either. There's no really progression going into the last 4 minutes.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Jono Johnson probably about 3, maybe 4 laps. So yeah, when he gets there, and he will if these two start fighting again, he's going to need to pounce on the back of Delmont pretty quickly and try and upset the battle here. But yeah, Delmont's still not giving Newman any sort of space whatsoever. He's changed the radio twice in that Pure Sims car trying to get him to crack, but yeah, Newman has shut the glove box now on that Pure Sims car, and he's going to try and look forward, because as you said, worst place to be. Bang smack in the middle is Adam Delmont. Doesn't know whether to look forward, look behind, because I can tell you, Jono Johnson, we've seen how good that man is at passing, and yeah, he's not going to need a second invite, that's for sure.
No, he's definitely not here. He's definitely not. He's going to want to go for it. He's going to want to get involved, and he's not going to sit back and think, right, guys, you go away, as we're into the last 3 minutes. If they give him a sniff, he's going to be straight in there with the tissues. I'll tell you that much. He is not going to want to stop here as well. And it's now getting spicy on through the field as well. Edward Parfitt under attack from Gibbons. Lewis there as well in 19th place, and we've got Littler and Dima all doing the same thing here as well. We're going to go into the last probably about 2 laps, maybe this one and 1 more, or this one and 2 more, depending on how quick these guys can get around this final part of the circuit. Over the start finish line they go. They've got about 2.5 minutes, so we should see 1 and 1 more here before the end of this race, and it has been a battle. There was a bit of chaos at the beginning. Stan Van Olsen got taken out as Jacqueline went across one of the Win It and Bin It boys, and unfortunately Jacqueline spun in the Win It and Bin It, went into Van Olsen, and then it caused a little bit of chaos with a load of other drivers. Williams has also been spun as well, with him and Lee Dima having a little bit of contact. Crowther and Barnes there. Crowther spun it up on his own. Barnes, he comes around the corner, and unfortunately there was nowhere to go for either of them apart from into the side of Crowther. Mini-Me Danny and Stuart Gibbons side by side going down into turn 1 here. This is a battle further down. This is for 5th in class. Currently at the moment, these guys still fighting it out. They're still nose to tail. And he's still having a go over Stuart Gibbons as well. He's lost a couple of places since Sam Van Olst overtook him. Craver's gone through, Ridley's gone through, and Gibbons has gone through as well. But he's not given up. Sam Van Olst running side by side with Derek Craver. Van Olst does go through. Does Edward get through as well? He doesn't this time around. What's happening up front? Well, Newman's still out in front by about 4 tenths. Delmont to Jono Johnson is about 9 tenths currently at the moment here as well. But Sam Van Olst up front, still battling away with Derek Craver. Of course, we know Craver's quick here, Mark. We know he's been quick all season. Looks a little bit more of a shoe-in to take that championship win in the AMS and be promoted up to pros next season.
Yeah, driving fantastically is Derek Craver, and unfortunately, look at the position that these two are in. P11 and P12 currently heading onto pole position for race number 2 is Carl Jacquelet. Wayne Palmer is going to be starting second as these boys head on to the last lap. Van Olst, no front bumper, doesn't need it. But what is Adam Delmont going to do? We're going to have 3 or 4 more corners left. They're going to head down the back straight. We're going to head into turn 6 of 11, as that is the 9 car. No, it's not, it's the 20 car.
Yeah, Mick Barry.
That's him out of the way. So what is Delmont going to do? 2 tenths of a second. Is he going to go for it? Does he want his maiden race to get that win, or is he happy to sit in second place? Jono Johnson dropped off the back of these two. This is the battle for the lead here in race number 1. Delmont closing ever so slightly on the back of the Newman. Who's going to be braking? It looked like Newman went a bit sideways there, but fantastically held and yeah, well controlled as we are going to head into turn number 10. This does look like Newman. He's going to have to defend into 11 if he wants to keep this. I think Delmont's going to try once more. What do we think?
I think he's going to be running out of time here as well. Newman has gone off track. If Delmont's going to do it, he's got to run around the outside of turn 11. Newman's going to lock up the inside. He just needs to squeeze him against the line. Delmont's got to keep his foot in here as well. There's going to be a little bit of contact. Delmont didn't get that run out, and now coming down to the line, it is going to be Newman who takes that victory with Delmont in second, Jono Johnson in third. That is your 1, 2, 3. Who's going to win the battle between Wayne Palmer and Carl Jacquelet? They're running side by side up into turn 11 with Ollie Ricks right in front of us at the moment, and it is Palmer sitting on pole position here as well. He's going to try that cut back over Jacquelet coming out that last corner, but I think Palmer will take the last and final 10th place for pole position in race 2. What about Carl Ridley? Excellent recovery back up into 12th here. His front end looks like he's hit a pole, unfortunately, and Ridley finishes off in 12th. Then we've got Craver, Gibbons, Parfitt all coming over the line as well. So a stellar job from all of these guys here once more. But an epic battle up front. And if that's going to be race 1, Mark, what about race 2 and 3?
Yeah, really looking forward to this. And yeah, well done Danny Kazar on winning AM. Ollie Ricks, been a bit quiet this year as Ollie. He had a fantastic year last year. But yeah, P2 in AMS. And yeah, Derek Crowther recovering after his spin mid-race to yeah, finish P3 in the AMS.
Yeah, so here are the final results of race 1. Let's have a look. And it is Pete Newman, Adam Delmont, Jono Johnson, your 1, 2, 3. Alan McCain, John Bailiff, Danny Kazar, Sam Smith, Ollie Ricks, Carl Jacquelet and Wayne Palmer. Then we got Sam Van Olst, Carl Ridley, Derek Craver, Stuart Gibbons, Edward Parfitt, Charles Kellerman, Mark Chappell, and then Dan Lewis here as well. And then from beyond that, Chris Barnes, Paul Godden, Duncan Murray, Andy Littler, Lee Deemer, Chris Dixon, to Alan Toon, and then Robert Williams at the bottom here as well. So just bear with me. I know I've got to try and do something here as well to extend the time of the gridding so these guys don't all get confused here, because there is, unfortunately, my admins are all very busy at the moment. So I've just extended the time of the gridding for race 2, which is what we normally do as well. So let's see how this one all works out, and hopefully it should have all worked, and these guys should have 5 minutes once more here to get on to the grid. So yeah, all sorted. Christy, right, to go into race 2. Well, you know what it's like. You have a Chinese and 5 minutes later you're hungry again.
Maybe that's why he was so fast. Is he yeah, wanted to get back up to back up to the front and get another takeaway in for race number 3. But fantastic result for Sam Smith. To be fair, there it was very well done.
Yeah, it definitely was. So well done to Sam Smith. A great job as well getting up. So let's take a look. I'll tell you what we will do. We'll have a look for the grid for race 2. And it is going to be Wayne Palmer, Carl Jacklett, your 1 and 2. Ollie Ricks, Sam Smith, Danny Cazar, John Bailiff, Alan McCain, Jono Johnson in 8th, Adam Dalmont, Pete Newman on the 5th row. Then on row 6, it's Sam Badolst, Carl Ridley, Derek Craver, Stuart Gibbons rounding out row 7. Edward Parfitt, Charles Callum row 8, Mark Chappell and Dan Lewis in row 9. Then on from that one, we have got Chris Barnes and Paul Godden, Duncan Murray and Andy Littler, Lee Demo, Chris Dixon, Alan Toon and Mick Barry, and then followed by Mr. Rob Williams, who will be in that final spot on the grid. A bit of a challenging mission for him there as well. But I can't see, knowing that Sam Smith has climbed so many places in Heat 1 here, Mark, I can't see past him for the race win in race 2. Maybe I'm being a bit premature here, but I think he's doing an absolute stellar job.
You be careful doing that as well before race 2.
What do you mean?
Yeah, being premature, you don't want to do that.
No, I know, but I'm going to presume as well. Bit of yourself, Mark Fletcher.
Also, I think we need to work out how many places Jackalette will lose. We know how good he is at defending. I think he'll stay in the top 5.
You reckon?
Yeah. Yeah, the man can defend. 100%. I'm going to say Jackalette for the top 5. I'm interested to see the different strategies between Delmont and Newman.
Who's going to be the aggressor?
Yeah, we haven't seen Delmont through traffic yet. We know what Newman's like. He's got Van Orst right behind him and Ridley. We all know that these boys are fast. So he's just going to add a different dynamic here of having a new boy in the championship. What's he going to do through the traffic? Jono Johnson, fantastic through traffic last week. And Alan McCain. It's a great sort of 6 to 11 here or 6 to 12. It's this is going to be a fantastic heat to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely there as well. Welcome in, Katie. Come on, Mini P. He is in 15th place at the moment. Gained like 9 places from where he was last time. So a great stellar job through here. These people have not got very long here. And I'm a little bit confused why they're not getting on the grid. As they've only got about 30 seconds.
Yeah. Again, I can't remember if tyres make a difference, but yeah, go on then, chat. There's enough of us in there. Who is going to win race number 2? That's your starting lineup. You can see on the left-hand side. So yeah, give us a shout. Let's back some drivers. I'm going to say, are you going to go Sam Smith?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Smith's race.
Okay, I'm going to go Van Orst.
Okay, I will write that one down. Van Orst. As they've got about 4 seconds, most of the grid is missing here. So they better hurry up. Pete Newman's not on it either. What has gone on here? There's people missing
there we go.
On the grid. There's more getting on. Come on.
The grid seems to be filling up now, but the timer says we're 5 minutes 21 before we start.
Okay, well, we're all on the grid here, Mark, so whatever was going on...
That'll do.
That'll do. They're all on. Happy days. Right, lights are coming on for race 2. And once more, we are up and running. 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are going to be green, green, green. Wayne Palmer out in front, Carl Jackalett as well. There was an excellent start from one of the Winnett and Binnett's on the left-hand side. I think that was John Bailiff. We are almost 4 wide. We are 4 wide. Is this going to work? Here that go down into turn 1 with Bailiff as well, but Palmer's still out in front here as well. There's a Goldwing being squeezed like an orange in a juicer there. I'm not going to lie, that I believe was Sam Badolst. No, they're through wide. Oh, Delmont, big old slide there, manages to keep hold of it and does an absolutely stellar job. But 3 wide going round the corner there, Mark. That was insane.
Yeah, Alan McCain was in the wrong place at the wrong time there. Yeah, Pete Newman on the inside, Sam Van Orst, they didn't want to give it up. And look at that, Jacqueline head into the lead, dives late on the brakes. That's up the inside of Wayne Parner. Danny Kazar is going to try and follow him through for, DHD.
We've lost Sam Van Orst and Pete Newman. I think we've lost Sam Van Orst and Pete Newman. They've had contact, I think, as well. I'm hoping it's not on a straight. Oh, they make contact, and then Van Olsen turns to the right, and Newman goes round, and we've lost Sam Van Olsen, Pete Newman here, and unfortunately, that was all a little bit scrappy.
Yeah, not the best driving from those two. I'd expect a little bit better. I don't know whether they realised that they were 3 wide at that point, but yeah, a bit of a shame to see those two come together as we're still 3 wide heading into that last corner. I did see Sam Smith back out of that turn 1 where they were 4 wide. That's definitely what you want a spotter for. Everybody can deal with being 3 wide, but it's the 4th one that makes it a definite squeeze as Jacqueline heading off into the distance. Fastest lap that time by a 42 flat compared to a Danny Kazara of 42.8. Wayne Palmer still sitting pretty in 30s, down 2 places.
Oh, Jacqueline makes a mistake. Did you see that spin up? He got that car all out of shape because I was now going to have a go around the outside. I think there was contact with Wayne Palmer and Sam Smith because Palmer went off to the left-hand side there. Carl Jacqueline managed to hold on. Mini-Me has been off track, unfortunately, as well, and has dropped all the way down into 23rd place. Who is that in the background? Was that Adam Delmont and Alan McCain and Cole Ridley? What was going on there?
Bit of bishing and bashing there, wasn't it? It was,
But there's even more here with Jono Johnson and Sam Smith battling it out. Williams is in the pits, Barnes is in the pits, and Duncan Murray's in the pits as well. And there was all a little bit of contact going on further throughout that grid. That little bit of door rubbing that these Clios are able to do has unfortunately led to some people being in the pits with Williams and Barnes, both from the Triple P Racing and both unfortunately sitting in the pit lane. Duncan Murray has been in the pit lane as well. And did Chris Barnes and Duncan Murray have contact? I don't believe they did. I think Duncan Murray did this possibly to himself here. I'm just trying to find where he initially went off. Oh no, is he going backwards or is that just me?
No, definitely backwards. We're definitely full speed in reverse.
Has he had contact with his teammate? That's what I want to know. Yes. Stan Van Olst and Duncan Murray come together. I'm wondering if that was Chapel over Van Olst, and that Van Olst into Murray, and Murray's hurling backwards down the grid there. That's down the racetrack. That's really quite impressive. I'm not going to lie there for Duncan Murray. Pete Newman's trying to work his way through. He's up side by side with Sam Van Olst once more. Sam Smith up front as well, and is having a go with Danny Kazar. Smith trying to run on the outside. Smith's obviously clearly had contact there, Mark. His front end looks like he's hit a pole.
Yeah, the front of that Clio is very much dented, and who's that getting out of the way? That's the 33 car. So yeah, well out of the way there is Smith on the inside here of Danny Kazar. He's going to want this to be done pretty quickly, and that is Smith through past Kazar. It's hit himself and Rick's obviously leading the AMs at the minute, but Sam Smith heading off after Jono Johnson. Jono Johnson is closing down Carl Jacqueline, the man that can defend for his life. What is Carl Jacqueline doing? You see that Clio in the middle of the track. He's going to push Jono Johnson out to the outside, and as we head into the right-hand hairpin here as we end the lap, Jono Johnson looking for the cutback. I'm going to assume that Jacquelette's going to head it towards the pit wall as soon as he sees Jono Johnson try and move. Yeah,
I've got to agree. I think as soon as Johnson moves, Jacqueline will move. But he ain't going to do it now because they're in the braking zone, and we know the rules are moving under braking, as I found out as well in one of the league races that I was in. Apparently it was naughty, but hey, I don't drive. That's why I'm in the booth. But Johnson here snuck up the inside and spins Jacqueline Smith as well. And Jacqueline's going around like a pinball there. Was that more Jacqueline defending, or was that Jono Johnson there going up the in? There was a massive gap in the middle of that. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's where Johnson was when the contact happened. If he's by his door, then he should know he's there. And Jacquelette's still getting pinball through. Sam Smith got through that. I don't know how. But yeah, as you go on board, Jacquelette, what happened here? There's
a gap, I think. Got a funny feeling there is a massive gap off the right front of Jono Johnson here as well. So if we go try and get Jono Johnson's right front, watch the gap over Jacquelette before Jacquelette starts losing control. There you go. So
I think it's ambitious. Honestly, I think it's ambitious, but what have we got going on here? We've got absolutely everybody. We've got half of the field, and that's Sam Smith going slowly. I'm going to assume he's going to try and get back to the pits, but he's not been able to. Yep, Smith into the pits.
He missed it. He missed the pit lane.
Too busy getting overtaken by about 11 different cars, and I think Sam Smith, I'm going to guess by the look of that wheel, has got the meatball flag. The meatball flag in iRacing gives you 3 laps to come in and pit. He will get a faster pace, so he'll want to get back out there as quick as possible. But Wayne Palmer still there or thereabouts, down 5 places, but still sitting in the top 5 there. Jono Johnson is obviously now our new leader. Danny Kazar sitting in second, and look who's in third. Adam Delmont, our second place finisher. But he's not going to be sat here long behind Danny Kazar. That's up the inside here at turn number 11.
Yeah, he has. He's gone through, and now he's going to set after Jono Johnson. His gap's 2.1 seconds, mind you. Is Kazar still going to have a go? He's got Ollie Ricks closing in, who's got Carl Ridley, who's up 7 places, chasing down here as well. So Ridley's on a bit of a mission. He needs to make up points after race 1. And let's see how this all works out here for these guys, and whether or not they're going to be able to make up these places, as we're coming in with Alan McCain and Wayne Palmer running side by side as well. Palmer's on the inside. Of course, your pole man is down 5 places currently at the moment. He's gone on the defensive on that run up into turn 11. He's putting his car in the middle of the track. He's waiting for a move from McCain. McCain's going to get run around the outside from Bailiff. Leaning on each other around the corner they go. Bailiff's going to be pushed out. McCain opened up that steering. No way through for John Bailiff there. McCain just opened it up a little bit, gave him a little squeeze against the line and said, well, if you're going to go there, son, there's grass waiting for you. So Sam Smith did manage to make it back into the pit lane here as well, but this is all pretty much half of the field down into 10th place with Derek Crowther all locked in together, and they are literally going at it here. Hammer and tongs fighting it out continuously, and this is from 3rd all the way down into 10th.
Yeah, Derek Crowther at the back of this group. Obviously, he's still 3rd He's only got Ollie Ricks and Danny Kazar. Ollie Ricks is dropping down like an absolute fly. Is that going to be a slowdown? I'm going to assume that he's been off track a little bit too much and he's getting penalised. He's going to drop all the way back down to P number 10. That's behind Crowther. So yeah, fantastic battle here. And just to add a little bit more, last time by Adam Delmont took 1.1 seconds out of Jono Johnson.
Oh, Jono's got to hang on for 10 minutes. Can he hang on for 10 minutes? That's going to be the question. Will Jono Johnson go on the defensive? He's going to have pretty much every defensive tactic he possibly can here to try and stop Belmont getting through, but it's going to be very interesting as we're coming into that final 10 minutes in about 30 seconds time. But we've got battles here going on all over the place in this front 3rd down into 10th. 7 cars are going to be fighting out here. One mistake could cost them all though, Mark, because of how close they're going to be racing.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those. Being in a train's fantastic because you're all snug in the middle. Everything's all going well. But yeah, as soon as somebody makes that one mistake, as you saw from Ollie Ricks, drops 6-7 places, and we're going to watch it now. Who's that? That's Wayne Palmer going wide. That's going to be McCain. That's Bailiff up the inside. So that's 1 he's lost. Is Jacquelette going to try and follow through? Is Palmer sticking it on the outside? Bailiff is on the inside here for the right-hander, and yet Jacquelette's trying to follow him through. That door's going to get closed off very, very quickly indeed. We're going to go 3 wide here, James.
Yeah, I think we are. Currently at the moment. This is Crowther, Palmer, Crowther and Palmer leaning on each other. Ollie Ricks has gone past Derek Crowther, I think, there as well. Crowther's still battling with Ricks in the AM Championship, of course. These guys are all side by side. It's a little bit worrying here as well. We've got this 5-car battle led by Jacqueline, then Palmer, then Ricks, then Crowther, and also Gibbons in the background as well. Fighting it out. Palmer's off the side of the circuit once more in that green-wheeled machine, with Ollie Ricks now having a go as they're coming down into turn 10. The left-hander, sorry. I should really put L and R on my knuckles here. And Ollie Ricks now, we're going to be free wide again. Are we going to try free ride round the final corner? Palmer's in the middle, Ricks on the inside, and then Crowther and Gibbons sat there like prancing lions waiting for the kill over Wayne Palmer. And unfortunately for Palmer, he's just slid a little bit further back from where he was in pole position, and now he's under attack from Stuart Gibbons and Derek Crowther, as them guys have just swapped positions here, with Crowther on the left, Gibbo on the right, as they go down into turn 1. Now Crowther's in front, sorry, in the 167 Blade Designs livery car, and he's having an attack of Brian Palmer. Ollie Ricks is off the side of the circuit. Ricks is off the side of the circuit there. Unfortunately for him in race 2, he lost it. He's lost quite a few positions there, Mark, hasn't he?
Yeah, not the race that he wanted, but the man that is having the race that he wanted, Danny Kazar, just not letting these pros through, but not making it overly difficult, as we see Alan McCain going to the inside of the top ham driver. Derek Crowther now sitting at P number 2, Stuart Gibbons P number 3, Kellerman 4, and Ricks down in just inside the top 5 there. He's got a bit of a gap to Godden, but yeah, I've been watching the gap here between Johnson and Delmont, sort of 2 or 3 tenths of a second every single lap. Delmont closing up on the back of Jono Johnson, that next gen racing car, brand new to the series. Obviously finished P number 2 in the first race after a fantastic race with Pete Newman. Pete Newman just checking back in, he's up into the top 20. That's going to be fine for him for race number 3. This is damage limitation race. And James, P20, who have we got?
We have got Mini-Me currently at the moment, though. Unfortunately for him, he has got Sam Smith right behind him. So Smith there. Clearly Mini-Me's had contact with somebody or something or some wall somewhere, as he's missing his bumper. But Edward Parfitt is currently sitting in 20th with Sam Smith behind him. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting one on how these defences go here. I know he's been trying to work on his racecraft, and I know, obviously, you know, he's been working alongside somebody I happen to do this with every Monday in the booth here as well. But Sam Smith does make a mistake there. That gives Mini-Me a bit of a breather. Dan Lewis is going to have a go at the inside of Sir Alan Toon. No, he's not. He backs out. But now Mini-Me and Smith battling it out for that final pole position here. Can he hang on though, Mark? That's going to be the question. Sam Smith, pro racer. I had him down for the win. You had Van so none of us were right. But can Mini-Me hold on?
I hope so, as he's just disappeared. No, he's back. That's absolutely fine. I hope he can. I really hope he can.
Yeah.
But yes, decent battles here. We've got Newman less than a tenth of a second. He's passed Wayne Palmer.
Oh, no! Palmer's hit the grass!
But he was.
Palmer hit the grass and spun Newman.
Oh no, is that Pure Sims car broken? I think it is.
Oh, Palmer hit the grass. Surely Newman's got to go into the pits. Has to. Get it over on the right-hand side. He's got to go in. He cannot control that car. He's going for it, though.
He's got 3 laps, hasn't he? That car is definitely, not steering straight. Yeah, 100%. So what is going to happen here? Obviously, Pete, a veteran in iRacing, so he's going to be well out of the way, that's for sure. But unlucky for Pete Newman.
Oh, Pete! Oh!
Do you think he thinks he can get it to the end?
Well, he might have done, but I don't think he is now, unless he's hit the other side and straightened it up here. No, he had to do that. He had to do that, surely.
I think he's trying to get to the end. I think he knows
5 minutes?
that he needs points. At this speed, I think he'll get there. Not ideal, but we'll see. as that's Bailiff and Jacqueline having a ding-dong battle as well.
Yeah, they've made contact, I think. I think they made contact here. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, rubbing on the side, and then Jacqueline and Bailiff getting caught up together. And around goes Carl Jacqueline. I don't know. That's not the first time that's happened, and I don't know if that's just the way that the racing has taken place, because it's not the first time we've seen people come across the front, right? Whether or not they're leaning, whether or not they're rubbing, they're trying to definitely do something, aren't they? I think that's the thing. But there's got to be. You've got to give them space.
Once that steering opens, isn't it? Yeah, it's once that steering opens, these Clios rub doors, and yeah, you end up going across the front of people. But if you're going across the front of people, you're in front of them.
Yeah, but then there's that rule of alongside and leaving space. So, well, where do you go?
Onto the grass, by the look of it.
Clearly, we've just seen that as well. Parfitt having a go at Alan Toon here as well. I think he's just about to take the inside line. He's got the run. He should be able to nip up the inside into turn one. He's not going to make it through here as well. He is sitting in pole position for race 3. So this is going to be interesting for Mini-Me. That will be his second pole position of the season, if I'm not mistaken, because he was pole last week in Suzuka West, wasn't he? Yeah. So, yeah, he's going to have a bit of a tough run, but currently he's in pole with Alan Toon in front of him. Back up front, Jono Johnson, Adam Dalmont, last 3 minutes, and a nose to tail here, Mark.
Yeah, look at this. Dalmont in the same place that he was for race number 1. What's he going to do with Jono Johnson? Obviously, Jono was, stalking himself and Newman in race number 1. So, yeah, Dalmont is going to, hopefully have 2 podiums here in his debut race. But yeah, we're going to see a pass for the lead here. 4 minutes to go. Dalmont pops out of the slipstream to try and show Johnson, yeah, I'm here. If you miss your braking point, I am coming through. But yeah, bit of a game of chess now, I think. I think this is going to be down to the last lap as we see, Dalmont braking just a little bit later there. He's, 100% knows the width and length of his Clios as Dalmont. Fantastic to watch. Very difficult to do. It is so difficult to work out your braking zone when you've got somebody in front of you. You're assuming they're going to brake at the same point, but look how close and accurate those two are on the brakes. It's fantastic to see.
Do you brake when the other's brake lights come on? Dalmont's going to slip up the inside here. He's going to have this run around that right-hander. Jono Johnson's going to have the inside for turn 8, though. Is he going to send it up? He is. Jono Johnson sends out the inside. Dalmont's going to have the inside as well. Johnson's squeezing him. He needs to be there. He needs to hold that inside line for turn 10. Can Johnson hold on to it? He does, but Dalmont's going to have the inside line for 11 unless Jono can push him off and go in front of him now. Now. Oh, he's too late there. Jono Johnson had that brief moment where he had that option to come over and close the door on Dalmont, and he couldn't quite get over there quick enough, Mark, but he's going to slip in behind him here for what will be the final lap of the race.
Yeah, drag race down the main straight here. What's Jono going to do? Is he going to slip back into that slipstream and then head up the inside? We see Barney there waving the white flag, so these boys know that it's the last lap. What's going to happen here? Jono Johnson on the outside. You're not going to go around the outside of there. Surely not. Dalmont is just going to open the steering out. He doesn't. They give each other room. Fantastic racing inside their line for Dalmont. Johnson now has the inside line into the left-hander. What's happening here? These two are side by side. Dalmont through.
Yeah, Dalmont's going to wrap through. And here as well. Now Johnson's got to try and stay with him for this last half of this lap here again. Dalmont goes to the left, then he comes over to the right-hand side. Johnson's going to close up once more. He's going to try and have a go here on the right-hander now. Through turn 7 we go, that fast right-hander. Full speed down into 8. And it looks like Dalmont might have possibly wrapped this one up here, Mark.
Yeah, 0.3 of a second. That's a big gap there. Jono Johnson is going to be happy with a P3 and a P2, that's for sure. Ridley, the silent assassin, look at him. He's up into P3. That's fantastic. That's up 9 places. Obviously, remember, boys, that the these guys started at the back of the field. Up 8 places is Adam Delmont. What a start to his season.
Yeah, he's going to come round the final corner here. He's looking like he is going to take that victory, is Delmont. He comes over the line. Jono Johnson, flash of his lights as well. The man from down under comes over in third. What about Danny Kazar in the AMS? He manages to hang on there with a lap. Pete Newman right behind him. Derek Crowther is going to come over for second. And Stuart Gibbons doing an absolute stellar job here for third place. So great run there as well. Ollie Ricks is going to not go past Charles Kellerman for fourth and fifth. And currently down in 20th and in pole is Dan Lewis with Mini-Me in 19th at the moment as he's going to come over the line and wrap it up here as well with Alan Toon in front of him as well. So it's going to be Dan Lewis, Edward Parfitt and Alan Toon on the front part of the grid for race 3. So that's going to be exciting, I'm sure, for these young gentlemen as they come over the line there. And here comes Dan Lewis. That's Chris Dixon battling right beside him. Dixon's taken that final position away. Dixon got it at the line. It is Dixon's going to be on pole there, Mark, as well as we're just waiting for Andy Littler. So there we go. Would the contact happen anyway? That's the main thing. I think that was the Jono Johnson and Carl Jacklett situation. Meh. I don't know on that one.
Typical, isn't it?
Yeah,
they were there. They knew each other were there. I think it was ambitious from Johnson. I'll be honest. But yeah, it's that whole of if you know somebody is there, do you turn in?
Not ideal. You wouldn't really. Suboptimal. Adam Delmont is in first, Jono Johnson second, Carl Ridley third, and Alan McCain is in fourth. Then you got Danny Kazar leading the AMS with Derek Crowther and Gibbons, your 1, 2, 3. Then John Bailiff, Carl Jacklett, Charles Kellerman, Ollie Ricks, Lee Deemer, Paul Godden, Sam Van Olst, Wayne Palmer, Mark Chappell, Sam Smith, and Sir Alan Toon is your top 18. Then beyond that, we've got Edward Parfitt and Chris Dixon. Dixon will be on pole for race 3. Dan Lewis, Andy Littler, Pete Newman, Duncan Murray, Mick Barry, Chris Barnes, and Rob Williams. So suboptimal for them individuals. We have got a brief little 5-minute warm-up here as well. So, yeah, the drivers will surely take a break before we get into the next race once more. So, yeah, very interesting evening of racing so far as we head into race 3.
Yeah, fantastic. There's always going to be carnage when you've got pinch points. You know, race 2, obviously we were going sort of 2-3 wide, but these things happen. You've got to be in the right place at the right time, and sometimes you're not in that place. But yeah, hopefully race 3 is going to be better. We've got star-studded lineup on the first 2 rows. Obviously we've got Edward Parfitt. We saw Chris Dixon get the move done on the last lap of the last corner. That's going to put him onto pole position, and yeah. The oldest man in the series, Sir Alan Toon, I think he's 70 years old.
Yeah, he had a birthday the other week, didn't he?
Yeah, and I think it was his 70th.
Yes, I believe it was.
70 years old.
And still poodling.
Alongside, how old's Mini P?
18.
That's a hell of a gap. That's a lot of I-rating gap.
Yeah, it is. To be honest, I don't think they're that far apart on iRacing. I got a funny feeling as well. Mini P's had a bit of a rough week by the looks of it. So, unfortunately for him, he's dropped quite a bit this week. So, yeah, not really sure what to tell him on that one. But, you know, there we go. Racing drivers go for the win. Yeah, it's a full spread, isn't it? I think that's the thing. You've got a full spread of age, haven't you? You know, you got Edward who's 18, you got Alan Toon who's 70, and then everybody else wraps up in the middle and basically kind of fills the rest of the age group. I think that's the interesting thing about sim racing in general, isn't it? Really, there's no, how can I put it? No limit to your age. I think that's probably the words I'm looking for.
No, definitely. You know, you look at it, and you know, the funny side of it is Edward's probably just either just about to pass his driving test, or already has passed his driving test, and you've got Sir Alan Toon there, who's had a bus pass for 5 years. You know what I mean? He gets in as a concession everywhere, does Sir Alan Toon. That's fantastic.
Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah, Alan Toon with his free entries and all this sort of stuff, and his half price OAPs and his fish and chips on a Friday. He gets for half price. Yeah, full on there as well. So great for Alan Toon, who's 70 years of age, absolutely doing a stellar job here on track, of course. You can go and check out Alan on Facebook. It's Sir Alan Toon. I think it's got Simcorium, I think it's called, where he does write-ups of his races and every single race he does. So yeah, check him out on Facebook as well, because he is absolutely amazing. So massive shout out to Alan Toon there once more, as we go into the last minute of warm-up before we go on to the grid here for the final race of the evening. And what an epic 3 races it has been here as well. So, yeah, I think this third race is going to be even more epic. I've got a funny feeling.
Yes. Yeah, I can't wait. Obviously, there's a lot of people here at the head of the field that aren't overly used to being there. Obviously, I'm going to say it this time because then it'd be my fault. Sam Smith is up there as well. So, yeah, hopefully he's going to have a decent third race and make his Chinese all worthwhile.
So you're going for Smith?
I'll go for Smith this time, yeah. See if I give him a bit more luck than you do.
Well, that's a bit rude.
Go on. Who are you after? Who are you going for?
Can you hold on a minute? How do you say about that as well? You know what I mean?
Why?
Well, they're giving more luck than I did. He got caught up in an incident. That wasn't my fault.
Exactly. Well, so did Van Horst. I picked Van Horst and he was in the bin as well.
Well, that was your fault. Right. I'm going to go with... Do you know what? I'm going to go with Van Horst this time.
Oh, never.
I'm going to go with Van Horst because I've got a funny feeling he's going to come and do an absolutely stellar job from where he is. He's sitting 7th. So hopefully he'll do an amazing job. So there we go.
It's doable. It's definitely doable.
Yeah.
But yeah, Adam Delmont starting P20. Let's see how good at overtaking Mr. Delmont is. Jono Johnson just in front of him. Pete Newman narrowly missed out, but he's not miles away. He is P23. Therefore, yeah, 3 places up in front of him was the leader of race number 2. So, yeah, don't count out Pete Newman here for not a top 10 result.
Yeah. Definitely. Right, let's see.
This is an interesting grid, isn't it? I'm just looking at it now.
Look at that. It's all over the place. There's going to be people all out of position here. So be aware. It could get a little bit chaotic as the lights are going to come on as well. 3, 4, 5. And we are up and underway. And it is Chris Dixon and Edward Parfitt leading away here as well. And Dixon's on the right-hand side. We've got Smith behind. There's a spin already. Sam Van Hulst is in the wall. Oh, everybody else is going to weave their way through. Sam Van Hulst and Duncan Murray are already in the wall. But Chris Dixon and Minnie P.
Sorry?
Edward Parfitt leading the race. He's leading
Sam
the race.
Smith, leave him alone.
Yeah. Smith, don't go near him. Chris Dixon, hang him up there as well. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, no, Smith's got through on Dixon. Mini-Me's out in front by nearly a second currently at the moment. Go on, son, have it.
What unlucky there for Sam Van Hulst as well, having an instant before they'd even got to the first corner.
Yeah,
the problem when we go 3 wide.
Yeah, I was going to have a look. But, oh, no, he's already crashed at that point. Let's have a look. We can see. No, he's already crashed. I got a funny bit. I can't get any closer than that. Oh, no, there it is. Wayne Palmer and Sam Van Hulst. Van Hulst has come over. Oh, he's trying to go across the nose of Palmer.
I think he's tried to follow Sam Smith.
You reckon?
Yeah, by the way that trajectory of Sam Smith's car, I think he's tried to follow him. And oh no, Sam, leave him alone.
Sam, stop it! Sam, stop!
It's the quickest way in and out of this championship if this move happens, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, come on, Ed. What a move!
He's gone on the defensive. He's going to snug Sam Smith against the white line. I think this is going to be it, though. I think Smith's going to have this overtake done going down into turn 1. Mini-Me's rubbing. He's sideways with him. Smith makes it through over Mini-Me and Edward into second, but they've got a 1.7 second gap over Chris Dixon, Mark Chappell, Paul Godden and Ollie Ricks. Wayne Palmer and Sam Van Alst are in the pits, unfortunately, for them. There's battles all the way through. Look at this gaggle of cars behind. Oh, Jackley again! Oh, no.
Don't ask me about that. I'm staying on the fence. All right, that's fine. No issues. Didn't see anything.
Did you just literally sucking your microphone then?
Yeah. I saw a horrendous incident happening there, but yeah, luckily managed to hit the brakes just on time. We saw Pete Newman getting through that, but yeah, Jackalette struggling here. That is going to be a meatball. He's going to need to head back to the pits if he can and get that fast repair and get back out on circuit. Yeah, another interesting start. Adam Delmont.
Oh, Jono Johnson took a hit there. That's the thing I was trying to look at, is how did Jono Johnson get caught up in an incident not long after this? Oh, they're 4 wide! 5 wide! What was...
And that was a slowdown on the outside, and I think it was Derek Crowther. Maybe he had nowhere to go.
Oh, my dearie me. Mark Chappell in third place. Currently, Mini-Me still in second at the moment. Edward Parfitt is in second place overall. He's just got to try and follow what Sam Smith does. That's what I would be telling him about now as well. Try and follow what Smith does. Pick up on his racing line and see if that makes you any quicker. But he's got Mark Chappell 1.8 seconds back currently at the moment here with Paul Godden, Charles Kellerman, John Bailiff, Adam Dalmont and Daddy Kazar. Dalmont's up 13. Kazar's up 8. Newman's up 13 as well. Also in that pack of cars that you're seeing on your screen currently at the moment. But Mark Chappell under pressure here from Paul Godden, of course our primary sponsor from Simstickers and Sim Life. So please go and check them out at simstickersimlife.co.uk. Kellerman's running side by side with Bailiff here. There's a lot of action early on here, Mark.
Yeah, and yeah, Adam Dalmont obviously showing his... Oh! That was Kellerman that went round there. That was, yeah, another late move, but whether you should see him or not, very difficult to try and work out, especially from up here. We've got to stay, obviously stay on the fence as much as we can, but yeah, some silly incidents in this last race. But yeah, Delmont flying past Bailiff here. That's going to be another move done. He's going to be up 16 places, no, 15 places. So yeah, decent amount of places. Newman 3 behind, he's still there. Ridley not far behind as well. These 3 are coming through like a train. Sam Smith, fastest lap of the race. You see that with the purple number. He is checking out. Alan McCain
just
fastest lap.
McCain just took it away there. Newman, Ridley, nose to tail. And Mini-Me needs these guys scrapping to help him out. He's currently sitting in second place. I know I'm showing my son, but he is in second, bless him. Give me a little bit of, you know, leeway on that one. As Carl Ridley slips up the inside there of Danny Kazar. Newman's going to be giving him a little love tap as well. Kazar's got nowhere to go. Alan McCain's going to have a go over Pete Newman. Newman is blocked in from McCain to Kazar, and Newman then... Now Newman goes up the inside of Danny Kazar. Kazar does let him go through, but these 3 are scrapping it out. What about Paul Godden? He's under attack from Adam Dalmont. Godden goes on the defensive. Dalmont's going to run up the inside of turn 8 here. He is now next up on his list is Mark Chappell. Godden's not giving it up though. Godden's having a go. He's trying to battle here, Mark, as well, which is great to see currently at the moment.
Yeah, exactly, and that's how it should have been done. Those 2 left each other just enough space. Delmont found the apex, But yeah, Godden knew he was there, and yeah, fantastic again in race number 3. And I think that's Chris Dixon that we can just see in the gravel back there, but he's rejoined safely, so that's not a problem at all. But yeah, fantastic race here between Delmont, Godden, and I think that is Bailiff as well.
Yep.
He's going to be looking to go to the inside. Got Paul Godden moving over towards that pit lane. He's going to say, if you're going to go, you need to go now, which is exactly what he's done. And yeah, that's going to be another position gained there for John Bailiff. Fantastic result here, up 8 places. Delmont past Chapel already. Where's Chapel gone? He's exited stage left there. How's his rejoin going to be? Newman moves out of the way. And yeah, fantastically back onto the circuit there. Very difficult to do that, actually, because that's going to be a blind corner. So yeah, well done, Mr. Chapel, for a safe rejoin, we'll call it.
Definitely on that one, it was an ideal scenario for them guys. Is your battle for 9th and 10th on track. Mark Chapel, Danny Kazar, Chapel on the left, Kazar on the right here as well as he goes on to the brakes. Kazar goes through. Then you got Charles Kellerman, who's also following, trying to get hold of the Chapel all at the same time, and Chapel is kind of squeezed up here. What about Stuart Gibbons, Lee Deemer, Duncan Murray? They're fighting out. They're side by side. Gibbons on the right, Murray on the left. Deemer is kind of in front, but positioning his car in the middle. Murray's going to look, goes up the inside of Gibbons this time around here as well. And Gibbons does end up dropping back to the back of the pack. Ridley and Bailiff with Newman as well. And that is Paul Godden, who's just picking his spots to try and get out the way here. And Parfitt is now battling with Delmont. So it's all getting a little bit toasty at the moment.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the same move as we saw Sam Smith pull on Mini Pete. I'm going to assume that Delmont is going to head towards the inside when they get down halfway this hill. He pulls out to the outside. Edward knows he's there now, so he's just going to slowly turn in. But yeah, that's going to be another position gained from the new man.
Yeah, he is. They're going to be side by side on the way out here as well. Delmont is in front at the moment. Mini P slots in behind him there. Mini P leading the AMS 3rd overall. So, yeah, it's getting very exciting for Mini P currently at the moment, as he's finding himself in a position that I don't think he's used to.
No, and it's fantastic. It's great that he's still holding his own. He's only lost one position, obviously started on the front row there. Sam Smith, obviously up 3 positions. We kind of knew that was going to happen, but yeah, Delmont, is he going to make it 2 race wins out of 3? Obviously finished P number 2, but here is another fierce battle. Pete Newman at the inside of Carl Ridley. These two know how to race. They're both pros. They're both in the championship hunt. Obviously Newman in front, and that's a fantastic switch back there. That really is. But it is going to leave him on the outside here as we head into turn number 10. That's Ridley on the inside, but Newman is going to be on the inside for turn number 11. That Pure Sims car is there. Ridley knows it. This is going to be who's going to brake latest. I'm going to assume that Pete's going to slightly move over to stop that undercut. And that's exactly what he's done. Ridley's going to take the wide line. Newman parks it on the apex. There is no room there. What's the run out going to be? Ridley heads to the inside very fast indeed. Newman moves over, has that gap. Ridley tries it even more. Newman moves even further right over to that outside line. No room at the end.
No. Ridley must have thought he was in a smoothie. He was being squeezed that much. I've got to be honest. Newman was in front, so he had that right to do it. And he didn't do it in the braking zone, but Newman and Ridley now are literally still going nose to tail here as well. 10 minutes, just under the 10 minutes remaining. And what an interesting one there from these guys. It's, yeah, been an interesting fight so far here as well amongst everyone. It's, yeah, epic racing.
Yeah, Bailiff past Godden as well, slowly slipping down. Paul back into where he started, so another fantastic race here. But Newman after Mini P. Delmont is off and gone, 100% matched by Sam Smith. So Sam Smith's going to have to start reacting to Adam Delmont. Delmont up 18 places. Fantastic result here. Teammate are here of Alan McCain. He's in a fierce battle with Carl Ridley. Obviously Kyle a lot more awake, I'm going to guess, now that he's got that iRace esports car filling his rearview mirrors. Newman is after Parfitt. What's going to happen there? Obviously there's a dent on the front of that Pure Sims car. Mini P's car looking factory fresh. So is that going to make a difference? But yeah, we know how fast Mr. Newman is.
What would you do in this situation, Mark, if you were Mini-Me?
It's difficult because I'm going to assume here Newman's going to get past. I still think there's a class win on the cards. I'd let Pete past potentially till he gets to McCain.
You reckon?
Difficult. Yeah.
Well, he's got to stop Godden taking that class win, though, right?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, there's a little bit of a gap between him and Bailiff. Obviously, you can see those fighting behind. That's the gaggle of 3 behind. Difficult. It really is difficult.
Yeah, I would presume Pete would get through, right? And that, obviously, you know, I'm not disrespecting my son or anything like that. Newman has been on iRacing a long time. My son's been on iRacing probably for about 18 months here. As Newman's going to slip up the inside there as well. Mini Pete don't make it easy for him. Bailiff's going to run around the outside. Bailiff. No, Carl Ridley, sorry, from the Win It and Bid It team, is on that inside line. He slips through. Let's go to Alan McCain go. Now would you start under... Oh, no. Get it back on track. Now would you start going again, though, Mark? He's done what you said, pretty much.
Yeah, you have to now stay on the back of this group. He knows he's got the pace. He's in the slipstream. He's still got 1 car between himself and Paul Godden. As we see Delmont banging in that fastest lap at 34.078. He has taken 0.8 of a second that time by Sam Smith. But yeah, Smith still leads by 4 seconds. So yeah, 7 minutes left to go. You've got to think that this is Smith's it, unless Delmont can take another sort of 0.8 every single lap. But yeah, Mini P doing all right. I still think this class win is on. I really do. But we know how fast Godden is in race number 3. He shines in race number 3. Loves being up at the top end of the field. But yeah, this is definitely going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, it definitely will. That internet, I do apologise for that as well. But Mini P, Bailiff's going to get through. Now he's got a fight, because now he's got Paul Godden here behind him here as well. So now Mini P has got to go on the defensive, because he has got the class win in his pocket currently, but he has got Paul Godden closing here on the back, and also Danny Kazar. That's going to be a tough one here for Edward to hold. Last time out there was a 1:35.42, 1:35.27 in favour of Godden, and I'm making it sound like a prize fight going on in here currently at the moment as well, isn't I? So from Mini P's point of view, he's got to try and defend as Bailiff goes off the side of the circuit in front of him here as well, going into turn 11. Don't try and run. I wouldn't run around the outside, to be honest. Slip back in behind him. Oh, big lock up from Bailiff there. Smoke coming out galore. And now Mini P is under attack from Godden here as well. They're running side by side down the start-finish straight. This is for the AM overall lead. Danny Kazar coming in once more. 5 minutes remaining. Can Edward hold on here as well? He's not. Godden's gone on to the brakes late. Mini P's going to try and switch back underneath the bridge. They go. They're going to be running side by side. I think there was contact. There was a little bit of contact there as well. And Edward holds on to the lead in the hands at the moment here, Mark, with 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, this is going to be a fantastic battle. And Danny Kazar not far away. And John Bailiff, I think that's a slow down. Yeah, so Mini P through. Is he going to keep that place? He is. Look at that. Bailiff, wrong place, wrong time for Paul Godden. He's going to be flashing those lights. He knows that these boys are fighting for a class win, but obviously Bailiff wants to get onto the back of McCain up in front. But yeah, Mini P with a little bit of a break here. That's 1 car that he wants in between himself. That gap at the front coming down 2.9 seconds. The gap now between Smith and Delmont. Newman not far back. He's matching Delmont, but that's a 5-second gap between the top sort of 2 and 3 now. But yeah, Ridley not giving up either. You can see them up in front, but we are on board here with Paul Godden, series sponsor, Simstickers, Sim Life. Head over to have a look at those. Parfitt going on the defensive. What is Bailiff going to do? Slightly wide. Bailiff's going to head up the inside. Parfitt's going to head over to that pit wall as soon as he can, try and block this off.
Oh, Godden
on both of them.
Yeah, Godden got the run out of turn 11 here. Parfitt looks like he's managing to hold on to that one as well. He's got to go on the brakes now at that 100 board. He does do. Bailiff can't get through this time around. So he is there once more. That car from Godden sitting in second in the AMS. Mini-Me is it first in the AMS currently at the moment. Is he going to be able to hold on for the next well, we've got about nearly 3 minutes here. This is going to be a tough one. Bailiff's going to have to run out of that turn. Mini-Me holds the inside line. He goes back over once more. He's now parked in the middle of the track. I think we're going to be almost 3 wide. We are 3 wide. Bailiff, Godden and Mini-Me. Danny Kazar here as well. Mini-Me's still hanging on to this position. He's still hanging on to the AM lead, but Danny Kazar is behind him now as well. And Kazar is now going to have a go, that previous pro driver down in the AMS for this season. Second in the AM Championship. He needs these points currently at the moment. Unfortunately, they're our shocking internet in the house is making Mini-Me blink around a little bit. As Kazar tries to go up the inside there. What about the gap up front? It's now down to 2.7 seconds. But this is the battle here for the AM Championship. Behind that is Duncan Murray from Team Goldwing Motorsports sitting down there as well in 10th place at the moment. Is he going to hang on, Mark? He's got barely 2 laps.
I hope so, I really do, but look at this, Danny Kazar with the run out there, that's for sure. He's going to head towards the inside. Mini-Me tries to close him off. We saw Pete Newman do this, but there is not a lot of room there. Danny Kazar is definitely on the inside there, so these guys are going to get into the braking zone. They touch ever so slightly as they get there. Danny Kazar up the inside, and Parfitt just drops it on the apex, tries to get the cutback. He's done this before. Is he there enough? He is indeed. Danny Kazar will turn in. Oh, and Paul got him right on the back there of the JPB car. Up front, just keeping a close eye on it. Just about 0.4 of a second. Sam to Delmont was the gap that happened last time by. Still 2.1 seconds different as Godden now has Duncan Murray all over the back of him. Duncan Pro, Godden Am. They're going to want to be there, but Mini-Me late on the brakes. Danny Kazar, that Hollywood Autos car, has a rear view mirror full of the JPB racing car. Edward Parfitt here sitting P number 2 in the AM category. Started on the front row. Fantastic drive here. But yeah, we are heading down to the last 2 minutes. I'm so glad he knows the length of this Clio Cup car. Look at these two. This is a fantastic battle. Paul Godden still there in the rear view mirror of Edward Parfitt. The lock-up from everybody up at front. What's Godden going to do?
Kazar's made a mistake. Kazar made a mistake. He come back over on the defensive out turn 10 straight away. Sorry there, Mark. And now Mini-Me's going to try that cutback out of turn 11. He's going to get the run. They're going to go on to the final lap here. And it is Danny Kazar from Edward Parfitt, from Paul Godden, who's going to be under attack from the Goldwing Motorsport, Duncan Murray. Final lap of the race. We'll keep an eye on the leaders. Here's Mini-Me going to try and go up the inside. He's going to try around the outside. He's got this cutback here as well that he uses ever so well. I've got to be honest. Almost gets it through there as well, and Mini-Me hangs on to that second place, chasing down Danny Kazar as they're on the final lap of the race. The leader is coming round turn 6. Don't worry. He's got to run.
Oh, he tried it there, didn't he? I tell you what, we wouldn't have had this at the start of the season. Mini P fighting with Danny Kazar, running second overall, and Duncan Ray. That's going to pay to Paul Godden's fight here. But yeah, 0.3 of a second is the gap. He's going to need to get this done. We're heading into turn 8, then swiftly into 9, into 10. What's going to happen? I think we're going to say that Sam Smith's got this up front, so that's a fantastic result for Sam Smith. But this battle is going to go right down to the line. Edward Parfitt are late on the brakes there, right on the back of the Hillwood Autos car here. Got 2 corners left to do it. We're heading into turn number 10. Sam Smith is coming across the line. There's 0.9 of a second done. That's Smith taking the win.
Yeah, Smith does. What's going on here?
Oh my no! Oh dear!
No. Oh, Duncan Murray's gonna... No! Really?
He kept second.
He's gonna hold on, isn't he? He's gonna get second place. He does. Oh.
What a finish for the AMs. That's fantastic. Danny Kazar coming home in 7th overall. That's a brilliant result for him. Up 9 places. Duncan Ray, to be fair, was there or thereabouts. Gained 16 places. Edward Parfitt takes 2nd overall in the AMs. Paul Godden, fantastic podium for series sponsor Simstickers, Sim Life. That's another decent result in round number 3. But up at the front, Sam Smith, your victor here in race number 3 of round number 7 of the JPB Clio Cups. And Delmont comes across the line in P2. That's a fantastic debut for the young man here. That's going to be interesting next season if he keeps up that form. Pete Newman, fantastic recovery drives. He finishes out the podium there for Pure Sims Esports.
Yeah, absolutely stunning race in the AMs there. Went right the way down to the line, and then Duncan Murray obviously got into the mix there. But yeah, an incredible run from the AMs here. What a battle that was overall from these guys. And here are the final results of the final race of the evening. Sam Smith in 1st place, Adam Delmont in 2nd here. What an incredible race there as well. Pete Newman in 3rd, Carl Ridley, Alan McCain and John Bailiff. Then we've got Danny Kazar in 7th with Edward Parfitt, his highest finish of the season in 8th, with Paul Godden in 3rd, leading of the AMs. Lee Deemer in 10th, Stuart Gibbons, Mark Chappell, Charles Kellerman, Andy Littler, Dan Lewis, Chris Dixon, Wayne Palmer and Sir Alan Toon rounding out the top 18. Then on from that, you've got Carl Jacklett, Mick Barry, Duncan Murray, Sam Van Olst, Ollie Ricks, Derek Crowther, Jono Johnson, Chris Barnes and Rob Williams. And coming in for a chat is one Mr. Danny Kazar. Good evening, Mr. Kazar. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. Well, I came into it tonight thinking I might give it a miss because I'm feeling a bit ill. And I thought, I'll give it a go. And everything seemed to go my way tonight, which is unusual.
Yeah, 3 victories, if that's not wrong.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
it was.
Yeah, Mini-Me was putting a great race on that last one. I just managed to nick through, and then it was great racing.
Yeah,
Mark's hard work going really well.
Yeah,
stop it, Mark.
It is good to see that. You have to admit.
Always love when you see people progressing, especially when they're new to anything. That little bit of encouragement goes a long way.
Yeah, it definitely does. As well as Mark said during the broadcast at the beginning of the season, we wouldn't have seen the action that we've seen there from him as well. The progression has been incredible, but 3 wins out of 3 gives you a good hope of the AM Championship at the moment. The drop weeks got included. You were about 49 points back. Crowther's just had a bit of a rotten race 3, so that allows you to put an indent on him there.
Yeah, unfortunately I saw him disconnect sort of halfway through, which obviously is good for me, but no one wants to win like that. I mean, Deck, to be fair, has been class of the AMs this year. I mean, me and Stuart and Mark Chappell and a few others, Ollie Ricks, we all can get decent results, but he's by far away the most consistently quick driver. So if I can keep him honest, I think I'll have to take that.
Do you think you can take the AM Championship, though?
You've always got to go for it. There's always a chance. If I can keep having good nights like tonight, then the pressure will be on Mr. Crowther. But if he just keeps using the speed that he's got, he's going to be hard to beat. But we'll give it a go. We'll always give it a go.
All right, Danny, thank you so much for joining us there, bud. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
I mean, you guys for the great broadcast as always. I'd like to thank Jack Wirral for coming into chat, but he didn't bother. Obviously Mark Chappell on tonight. Yeah, I help him every week, and then when I need him, nowhere to be seen. Typical.
And just when you need someone in your rearview mirror as well.
Yeah, exactly. Let me know what's going on. Okay, you can back off. No, he's nowhere to be seen. But hey, that's kids these days. No commitment.
Danny, thank you so much there, mate, and we look forward to having a chat as it goes on there, bud. Thank you so much, mate.
No worries, boys. You have a good evening.
And you. Bye, take care. Right, next up we'll have a chat with Paul Godden, who was also involved in that epic AM battle at the end there as well. Paul, welcome in. How are you?
Yeah, evening, James. Yeah, it's really great end to the race to the evening. Sorry.
Yeah, it definitely was there as well, and an incredible race in race 3. You know, I think that was your shining light, wasn't it? You always seem to do well in the race 3 top reverses.
Yeah, it's just because I haven't got the pace that I need. Race 1, I really struggle, so I just have to try and game as many places as I can. Race 2, then I try and aim for a reverse grid or as getting high as I can get, and then I always end to be around the 10th, 13th place, something like that, which puts me in the middle. And then race 3, the car just seems to come alive. I think I must be better at battling than I am at doing hot lapping. So, but yeah, it's a real shame that me, Edward and Danny couldn't have a battle to the end. But unfortunately, I think it was
Duncan Murray.
Duncan got involved in it as well, which was a bit of a shame because I think us three we had very similar pace. It would have been an even better battle to the end. But it was a really fun race to be involved in, and everyone drove nice and clean, nice, good moves and stuff. So yeah, it's how I'd like the evening to end.
Yeah, you managed to avoid did you get involved in the chaos in race 1?
What happened in race 1? Yeah, someone rolled back across, not on their brakes, and took like 2 or 3 cars out, and I was on the outside trying to avoid it, and then they just went Constantina straight into me, and I got damaged front wheel.
Oh.
So it was a case of then just poodling around. I thought, do I pit or do I carry on? And I was only about a second a lap slower than I would have been, and I thought if I pit, I'm going to lose more time. But yeah, it's unfortunate when you start near the back of the grid and there's a incident in turn 1 or turn 2, and someone comes back across the track. Sometimes it's just luck where your car's positioned to try and avoid it. And unfortunately, being on the outside didn't work. Wayne, on the other hand, was on the inside and avoided it. So.
Nice one there as well. Well done, Paul, as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, just try to shout out to yourself and Mark for the great broadcast you do. It's always a really good fun to watch it back. And obviously all the drivers for tonight to making it a great racing. And I'd like to shout out as well to obviously your boy Edward, because he drove fantastic in that race. And at one point I thought he was gone up the road, but I think when the quicker guys caught him up, they kind of pushed him back into the pack and meant we could have a three-way battle. But his pace tonight is really good. I've seen a real good progression over the season, so it's really good to see.
Yeah, definitely was there as well. Well, Paul, thank you so much for joining us there, bud, and we'll look forward to having a chat, hopefully over the last 3 races.
Yep, nice. Cheers, guys.
Take care. Right, and next up on the list is Mini P. Here he is, who took second in the AMS in race 3. Well done, mate. Stunning job.
Thank you. I don't really have much to say, to be honest, but thanks.
No, it was a nice little battle there with Danny Kazar and Paul Godden.
Yeah, it was a shame I got a little bit of tap from Duncan Murray on the last corner.
Yeah, we did see that as well, but obviously at the end of the day, you still took second in the AMS. Did you think you could hold on to the win? Because, it's quite scary being on pole position or on second on the grid there with everybody rushing through.
Not particularly, no, to be honest with you.
But, well, absolutely stunning race there, mate. Mark, any questions for Mini P?
You're getting better and better every week. It's generally fantastic to see. Me and your dad were saying, fancy racing, Danny Kazar, one of the, championship contenders. It's showing how much you're improving on this, and you just got to keep going. You've got to keep pushing on. But fantastic defensive driving all evening. We're going to buy you some cable ties for the front bumper that you lost in both race 1 and race 2. So
I lost 2 front bumpers.
Yeah, that's struggling here for funding wise for the rest of the season, so we're going to need to keep that front bumper on.
Alright, yeah, we'll do. I didn't even notice, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you lost them both. Well done, mate. Congratulations on your second place. I would ask you if there's anyone you want to shout out before we let you go.
Honestly, I would like to shout out everybody else, so Andy, Chris, and Lee for keeping me in and helping me support me through it all the way through on race 3 there.
Anyone else you want to shout out who might have been helping you outside of the racing?
Yes, you, Dad, of course.
Thank you. And anyone else in the booth that happened to be with me?
Thank you, Mark, as well.
There you go. Good job, bud. I'll catch up with you in a minute.
All right.
Take care. Right, next up.
Right, Dad, bye.
Yeah, it's always hard interviewing your son, isn't it? Let's be real. Let's have a chat with Mr. Alan McCain here as well. Alan, welcome into the booth, young sir. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks.
Good stuff there, mate, as well. How's your evening been on racing? Because it's been up and down, isn't it?
I would say it was pretty good. I think this is my best overall for three rounds or three races on the trot, or on the night.
Yeah, going forward though, Alan. What's the situation with you and with yourself now? You're in the championship positions. You're sitting currently at the moment in 10th place. Was there an aim at the beginning to try and come in and win the championship, you think?
No, definitely not. Not with the likes of Kai Ridley and Pete Newman. I hadn't crossed my mind that I would be fighting for the championship. My main concern at the minute is the teams, pro teams. So as long as we keep finishing with points, we should sort of take that.
Yeah, you and Sam Smith there as well. I don't know if you spoke to Sam. How was his Chinese he had before he come in?
Oh, I was talking to him, but he never really mentioned about the Chinese.
Yeah, he
was having more problems than enough. He blue screened twice in qualifying, so it was kind of potluck whether he was able to stay on for the race.
Oh, okay, mate. Well, congratulations on your evenings of racing there, Alan, and we'll look forward to having a chat with you hopefully over the next 3 rounds.
I hope so.
No worries about it. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
A big shout out to yourself for putting on the race and doing a fantastic broadcast, and my teammate Sam for coming back and doing what he did.
Awesome stuff. Well, thanks so much for joining us there, Alan, and we'll look forward to catching up with you as the season goes on.
That'll be fine. Cheers.
Okay, good man. Right, and next up is Adam Dalmont into the booth. Adam, new into the series, of course, here. Takes a first win in race 2, second in race 1 and 3. Well, as debuts go, Adam, that's not a bad one at all.
Yeah, it's not a bad appearance, is it? Yeah, I'll take that, mate. I'll take a good haul of results and podiums.
Yeah, definitely here as well. Is your main aim just to sort of, see how you get on over the next few rounds? Because you've only got, obviously, Knockhill, Reverse, Watkins, Glen, Classic, and Brands at Indy, and looking forward to more sort of new next season as such?
Yeah, definitely, mate. And to be honest, I know a lot of the drivers from here from quite a few years back that I've raced with a lot of them, and then obviously I've been doing other things, they've been, so it's a bit of a reunion with a lot of these drivers as well. And yeah, I didn't want to wait till next season, so I thought, get in, find where I'm at, see where my fight is at, so to speak, and yeah, just enjoy what's left of this. Obviously try not to interfere with anything within the championship.
Ain't that a bit odd when you're racing at the front, though?
Yeah, well, in race 1, I just tried to stay close to Pete. Didn't want to really push him too much, and I was just going to try and get us a gap, and then maybe have a dice with him later on. But yeah, we just give him some grief, but not try and run him off.
Right. That sounds like a plan, Adam, as well, over the next 3 races, mate, because he's leading the championship at the moment, so I don't think it would be overly too happy with that one.
No, definitely not, as I wouldn't be if the boot was on the other foot.
Yeah, definitely. Well done, mate. Great opening debut here as well for the JPB Clear Cup. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, obviously, you guys, series organisers, all the drivers, and my team Next Gen as well, and all the sponsors that go with that. I'm not reeling them all off.
Okay, mate. Well, fair enough there, Adam. Thank you so much for joining us, bud, and we'll catch up with you soon, no doubt.
Cheers, pal. Thank you.
Take care, mate. Well, there you go, Mark. A full round of interviews from pretty much everyone here as well. What a stunning evening of racing that was.
Yeah, fantastic to be fair, and yeah, great debut there from Adam. Obviously, as he said, doesn't want to get involved in the championship, but yeah, definitely has pace. That's going to be a name we're going to need to look out for season 3. decent first race of Pete Newman. Struggled in obviously race number 2. He had that incident that he got caught up in, but yeah, he's still going to be at the head of the season. That's for sure. And yeah, brilliant to see some new faces on the podiums all the way around. So yeah, we head on to the next round for even more fun.
Yeah, we definitely do. Well, that is it, guys. That brings us to the end of this broadcast. We've got more racing coming up later on with the LSRL's GT3s from Watkins Glen with myself and Mr. Dean Biggles into the booth there as well. UK Sim Races tomorrow night, BSC NASCAR after that as well. So a full load of racing as always this week. But for now, guys, for myself and Mark Fletcher up here in the booth, you all take care. Have a great week, and we'll look forward to maybe seeing you on the track sometime. Good night.
Jungle.